Cool. So, Trevor's question, once we've got a good prompt for our people, do we then have to do that individually, one at a time for each person that we find? And my answer is no. So, what we just created was a prompt to find additional contact details for influencers. So, we created a prompt, and our prompt is here. You're a market researcher, analyze this person and their profile, find additional details, return their full URLs and phone numbers and email addresses. So, what we did was uh, we looked into our influencers, we were able to run that prompt and say, okay, return those details. And it came back with who they are, websites, emails, phone numbers. It was absolutely fantastic. So then Trevor's question was, do I have to do that one by one? The answer is no. So what we're going to do is create a workflow that's going to run that for every single time somebody comes into that list. So over in our workflows here, we set this up to be an every time system. So we create a new workflow and we're going to call this more contacts. Okay. This prompt will run each time we add someone to the influencers list. Cool. So let's jump in here. I should have ticked to auto save the changes, but that's okay. So we're going to run this on an influencer search. So influencers, and it's going to be our YouTube one by one influencers list, the one that we just created. Okay. And every time someone's added to the list is my trigger. Now, what we're going to do is simply come down to our AI prompts. Okay. And we've got our custom AI prompt here. Drop that in. And then we choose which prompt we want to run. And we want that contact details prompt. Save that. Okay. And now save here and publish. And what will happen now is every single time we add someone to this list, it'll automatically run that prompt for us. Now, it queues it up. So if we add 50 people, it's going to do one at a time. So you'll see those results happen individually. So this is now set up to run, and we could add to that. So we can say, okay, once you have those details, send it across to N8N or whatever you wanted to do with a webhook here. So we're going to send it to our N8N system that does a whole bunch of stuff and goes and follows that particular person. What a cool use case, right? So we've gone influencer, find their contact details, use N8N to go and auto follow that person. Wow, amazing, right? So you can set up your autopilot to do some cool stuff. I'll just take that one out for now. Let's drop that off. So, but you can so you can set that chain of events to happen one after the other, Trev. So now I've got that ready to rock, and this is active. And so now what we do, let me just move my Zoom bars here, is we go and run a search. We say, okay, cool. Let's find everybody on Instagram who has the business scaling in their description. Okay. And we're going to add them to that list. So that's my influencer list over here. Go. And what we'll see now is as we add these guys to the list, so we've just dropped them in. So we go to the list. And one at a time, we'll see those custom prompts starting to run. So as I said, it queues it up. So in just a few moments, we'll see those custom results start to populate. So let me just refresh that as we're talking. All right, starting to populate. Yep, these ones are done already. These ones are done. So you can see that they're starting to do one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. So I've got all the contact details starting to pull through for each one of these people, which is fantastic. All right.
Awesome.
And again, with that workflow, I could have then pushed all of that data across to N8N, or I could have put it into my CRM, or I could have just put it onto a spreadsheet. But all of these are now happening automatically. So again, we're getting amazing results here. And as I click on refresh to see where we're up to on that list, this is all happening automatically. So now that prompt is finding all of those contact details for all of those people automatically for us in the background. Pretty cool, right?
That is gold.
Gold? Love it.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you for that.